Good afternoon again. This will be the speech for the policy, persuasive speech for policy. Having a little technical difficulties going on here. My speech is on churches. Should churches pay taxes? There's a lot of information out there as far as should the church pay taxes? No, the church should not pay taxes. Why they should, why they shouldn't, and so forth. So it states, and a lot of it will be like quote unquotes, and I'll just quote it where I feel that is necessary at. Currently, churches that have a 501c3 that are non for profit organizations do not pay taxes. You do not pay taxes on the money that comes through one's tithes and offers or any other type of gift that comes through the church. They do not pay taxes on real estate. The real estate property for the physical building, and no taxes on your bills. Oftentimes, retailers, they can go to Sam's Club or any type of businesses that they are doing business with and show their 501c3. So when they go and make purchases, they are not taxed for those items that they are purchasing. Part of the problem that people are having with the churches not paying taxes is because they look at it as a business as well, and that the business, like businesses pay taxes. I pay taxes for my business, but I'm not a non-for-profit organization. I'm very profitable. So I do have to pay taxes. But for nonprofit organizations where there's no profits coming into the church, they don't have to pay the taxes. So as I was stating, the problem that some people are having is that because the church is still a business and it's classified as a business, that they should have to pay taxes also. As I was reading through some of the notes in history as far as why churches are exempt and what things qualify them to be exempt, they get exempt because they are giving free advice through marriage counseling, premarital marriage. There's like a whole list of things that qualifies, like, so should the pastor charge these people for giving them counseling, or should that be their godly duty to do in the facility? So it's all over the place about what should be done and what should not be done. So, quote unquote, churches are tax exempt under the principle that there is no surer way to destroy the free exercise of religion than to tax it. This person agrees with the Supreme Court that an exemption for churches it exempts the churches from taxes tends to reinforce a very healthy separation between church and state, end quote. We have a lot of conversations as far as, even in now society, as far as separating church from state. Well, why is it that the church does this and the church does that, but we're all here under this same state constitutional law? Because before all of us was born in 1865, the Supreme Court ruled that churches and state is separated. So it has to come back to the Supreme Court for churches to be taxed. Now, if you have a church and you have not done a 501c3 for it, more than likely you are paying tax because you're just a business, not running it as a nonprofit organization. So taxing the church causes issues in the church's side of the story because they feed the homeless. In most cases, there are gifts that go out, and when I say gifts, it's just like being a blessing to someone, or the church may have to pay somebody's rent. The church may have to, help you with your car note. They may have to feed your family. They may have to bail you out of jail. There's a lot of things that the church does that if you put a price on it and you put a tax on it, then it's some things that possibly cannot be done. Just like in everyday life, there's some things that we can do in businesses that if we don't have the money for it, and we don't have, the extra to pay taxes on whatever it is, sometimes we just don't do things because it's not financially affordable for us. But if in the church that is separated, it allows the church to be able to counsel, to minister, to reach out and feel the people who needs that help. I'm going to do one more quote, end quote, on this. It says, if the church tax exemption is lost, religion will lose even more influence, and reliance on the state will become more relevant. Religion becomes ultimately a private, publicly irrelevant force as it was in the Soviet Union. Churches are essential to any society desiring both the amelioration of conflict and the gentle influence of voluntary charity. They do great food and many, they do great food for many and discourage the evils so that readily creeps into culture's pathway, if not suppressed with diligency. Keeping them tax exempt will strengthen their ability to do these things. Right in a democracy in America, freedom sees in religion the companion of its struggle and its triumph. The cradle of its infancy, the defined source of its rights, is considered religion as a safeguard for more, and more as a guarantee of the law and the pledge of its own duration. So if we start to tax the churches, then there's going to be a whole lot of things that's going to have to be set in place, just like anything else that something is changed about. There's going to have to be a whole lot of changes, it's going to affect a whole lot of people's lives, and it just may not be a good thing. So in my opinion, I think that it's a safeguard right now to not tax the church, to make that extra money be available to meet the needs of the community and meet the needs to, like anybody that may need some type of assistance or counseling or whatever it is that they need.